Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, traders from across the globe. Welcome to Short-Term Trading Live with Oscar's weekend webinar. Traders, as you know, these weekend webinars, I tell you in each one, I think that this is the time I like during the week to try to look at the larger picture out there. You know, we are day traders, but as day traders, you absolutely need to know the path of the forest before you can go through the trees, right? If the forest is pointing north, or if we're in a bull market, the only way to do your day trading through that is to realize you're in a bull or if you're in a bear. So what I use these weekend webinars for is to keep us all in tune with that larger picture so that when we are day trading, we're day trading in the proper trend direction. With that in mind, traders, this webinar is Saturday, January 31st, 2009. What I'd like to talk to you about is the CRB index, the Commodity Research Bureau's index of a basket of commodities. In that basket of commodities, I believe a possible run-up of commodities is coming. And I have some graphs which will probably convince you that that may be happening as well. I will tell you right now, no one knows for sure if that's what's going to happen, but based on the research I'm doing and the charts I'm going to show you, I think there will be some sort of run-up in commodities. Now, the CRB index is made up of a bunch of different components. You have grains, which make up 17.6% of the CRB. Metals take up 17.6%. The softs, coffee, sugar, cocoa, you know, softs, and orange juice, 23.5%. Energy is 17.6%. The meats are 11.8%. And then you have industrials, cotton, you know, copper, they make up 11.8%. Of course, you add that all up, you have the whole CRB index. What I have found in the CRB index is about just under 70% of the commodities that make up the CRB index are above the Omni proprietary moving average, and the CRB itself is just about to get above the Omni's proprietary moving average. If it gets above, with those commodities already above, the only two that I have noticed, the only two sectors that are not above the Omni average right now are meats and energy. The meat markets are not above the average. The energy markets are flat and not above the average. But everything else in the spectrum of the CRB index, the commodities, the stuff that we eat and drink and need to live, are above the CRB index. Are above the Omni proprietary moving average. So if that's the case, the likelihood is the CRB will get above it as well, and likelihood is then we'll get a rally in commodities. Now traders, when the dollar, the US dollar was getting smashed a year or two ago, even up until 6 months ago, commodities were in a bull market. Then the dollar went up and commodities started to come down, and that is what you would expect. Now the dollar is still bullish, but if the US dollar starts to go too far and the other world's currencies continue to depreciate, they get inflation and these commodities get more expensive for them. This is a big world. A lot of people need to eat. So if the world's currencies are pulling down, the world's commodities are going to get more expensive. Another thing is this is the time of year that we start looking at commodities. Now we're in Feb, March, April, you get into the spring, the commodities usually start to make their run in this time of year between now and, of course, October, November. So now's the time to begin to focus on those commodities. Now is the time where I start doing my studies, and my studies show me that just under 70% of all the commodity markets that make up the CRB index are above my Omni average. Now that I've said that enough times, I want to show you the Omni average, show you where it is on the CRB index chart itself, and then show you where it is on this basket of commodities. I have a bunch of individual ones, and then you decide for yourselves if you think you see a pattern developing here. Traders, let's go look at the charts. Okay, traders, the first chart you are looking at here, the first chart on tonight's menu, and this menu's got a few meals on it here, so get ready. We are looking at the Commodity Research Bureau's daily bar chart. This is the Cash Commodity Research Bureau. It is the index itself, so it's not the March or the May or the April, we are looking at what you would consider the cash index of the CRB. As you can see, the Omni proprietary moving average is right here, traders. The CRB index is just kissing it right now. We have a wedge formation built here, and we're touching the top of the wedge. At the same time, we're hitting the Omni proprietary average. And then, of course, we have a top here and another top, making this a double top. And if we get up here, we have a triple top, and we buy triple tops because that's one of the rules in trading. Technically, if you have a chart with a triple top, you expect that triple top eventually to be taken out. So there's reason to think that if we get above the Omni average in the CRB index and above this little wedge or apex that is building, we have some flight on the upside coming our way. Traders, this is the CRB. Remember, this is the basket of all the commodities that are in the CRB index. Now, we're going to go look at a couple of the commodities, or many of the commodities that make up the CRB index, and then you see what you think about the Omni average and the way this CRB is acting right now. Let's go look at a few more charts here, traders. Okay, traders, what we are looking at now is the CRB index again. This is a daily bar, just like this is a daily indicator of a daily bar chart. And the commodity channel index clearly pointing up. You can see that. You have the DMI, directional movement indicator, clearly pointing towards a bullish move. And to be honest, I can pull about 7 to 8 more indicators out right now for the CRB index, and every one of them is pointing north. So we have the CRB index making a bullish formation, possibly, and again the word here is possibly, getting above the Omni proprietary average, while its indicators are bullish, and 70% of the commodities that make this up are bullish as well, or at least above the Omni average. Let's go look at a few more charts here, traders. Okay, traders, one of the commodities that make up the CRB index is soybeans. Soybeans above the Omni average now. You see it right there with bullish indicators. So soybeans, one of many that are now above the Omni average and is included in counting the CRB index. Let's look at the next one. Okay, traders, we are now looking at March soy meal. March soy meal, once again above the Omni average with bullish indicators. So you have beans and meal, and you're going to see a few more here. Let's look at another chart. Okay, traders, we are now looking at the March wheat daily bar. March wheat is testing, has been above and below, above again, and is now testing right here on Friday's close, the Omni average. But for now, it looks like it's trying to get itself above it, right? So we have another one of the basket of commodities that make up the CRB index, and it is above or right at the Omni proprietary average. So now you can see they're starting to build. We've seen 3 already. Let's look at more. Okay, traders, the gold. We're looking at the gold chart right now. This is April 09 daily bar. Look at what has happened since gold has gotten above that Omni average. It's looking strong. Look at the run right here in gold. Yes, we have a high, and you may end up calling this a double top, which may come off, but if it came off and hit the average and held, that would be boisterous for the CRB index holding above the Omni average. So as you can see, a lot of the commodities that make up the CRB index are above this average now. You see the action, when we get above the average, action was big. So you can see the average is working. In fact, traders, look at this chart for a moment. You get up to the average and fail, right back down, get up to it again, stop. The market explodes above it, you get right back down to it and hold, and then the market explodes. That average is working well. The Omni average does work well on many charts. Let's look at a few more of the basket of commodities which make up the CRB. Okay, traders, you've seen gold. Now we're looking at silver. This is May 09 silver on a daily bar. Look at that run. We're above the Omni proprietary average. Left a little gap here on Friday. Gapped open a little bit. Gold looks bullish. Silver looks bullish. Above the Omni proprietary average. All of this, traders, is geared towards thinking the CRB will go higher. I am not at this moment giving individual recommendations in commodities. I am showing you that the commodities as a basket look like they're ready to go higher, and the CRB is that basket's average. So yes, many of these commodities will likely go higher, but this particular video is not to point out any individual market, but to show you a larger picture of where we're possibly going. So now you had gold and silver of the metals. Let's look at more. Okay, traders, the next of the metals is platinum. Platinum clearly above the 200 bar moving average. This is April daily bar, and the platinum looks very smart right here. Again, though, above the Omni average, another metal which makes up the CRB index. So far, so good on thinking the CRB index will get above this Omni average and begin to climb. Let's look at more. Okay, traders, another metal, palladium. Now, palladium, I do not think they count in the CRB index, but it is another commodity that is useful, and it is another commodity that has gotten above the Omni average right here, and it too is looking a little bit smart, like it wants to pop out. So, some help here on other markets that move with the platinum, or palladium, I should say, as you're looking at now. So you have gold, silver, platinum, palladium, all above the Omni average. And, of course, we're expecting the CRB index to do the same. Now let's look at another sector. Okay, traders, now we are looking at one of the larger components of the CRB index, the softs, coffee, sugar, cocoa. They are 23.5% of the CRB index. And look at sugar. Boom, sugar booming above the Omni average with a decent looking channel right there. So sugar looks smart, one of the components of the CRB, and again, above the Omni average and starting to look good. Let's look ahead, traders, there's more. Okay, traders, another market widely used, also part of the softs, 23.5% of the CRB, is coffee. Once again, coffee above the Omni average. Are we starting to see a pattern here, traders? I'm seeing one. Now that we're above, if we come down and test it and hold, the likelihood is another run up. And of course, if each of these markets that make up the CRB continue to go up, CRB has no choice but to go higher. CRB is a measure of inflation when looking at commodity markets used for industry and for food. So here we go. It's starting to look like CRB will take off. Let's look at a few more charts here, traders. Okay, traders, another market, part of the CRB index is the cocoa. Look at March 09 cocoa. Look at the respect this market has paid to the Omni average. Look at when it starts really giving it respect. It breaks under, gets above, stops cold, and breaks down big. Gets back up, stops at the average for the day, and then has a monster day up. Comes back down, touches the average, and explodes. You can see the Omni average is working really well on cocoa. Cocoa is looking bullish. Looks like if it comes back down to test and rallies again, it'll go even higher. So now another market pointing north above the Omni average, which we expect to pull the CRB with it. Let's look at one more chart here, traders. Okay, traders, cotton. Cotton is part of the industrials component of the CRB index. Cotton has just gotten above the Omni average, has not done so for a long time, as you can see. And now that it is above and is in some form of a channel of its own right, you may end up getting cotton to move higher. Traders, I see a pattern here. I'm expecting that these commodities, if the dollar continues higher, will create inflation around the world for many other world currencies, and these commodities will get more expensive, hence pulling the CRB up and above the Omni proprietary. Remember, right now, the Omni proprietary is here, the CRB is right there, looking poised to get above it. Do your homework, traders. Pull out the components of the CRB index, minus the meats and the energies. We have almost all the components of the CRB looking to move higher. Just under 70% of the CRB components are above the Omni average. Do your homework, traders. See if you can find a pattern like this. So, traders, you seen those charts? Again, I will say this. We don't know that that's coming yet until the CRB index chart gets above the Omni average. But with all of those components pulling towards the upside, a very likely event is that we will get above the Omni proprietary average in the CRB index, and I'm willing to bet you that the energies and the meats start to catch up. If the other commodities go, rest assured they will too. If the grains go, the meats will go. It gets more expensive to feed the animals. So you can see the meats getting pulled right into this mess. The energy sector is the only wild card. The energy sector makes up only 17.6%. So if everything else went, you know, you're looking at 80% here of the commodities that make up the CRB going. So let's see if the meats follow along and the energies. All right, traders, again, I hope these videos are helping you. I hope these weekend webinars are helping keep you in tune with the larger picture. Because if you don't know what the large picture is, there's no way you're getting the small picture right. You need to know direction. This is the time of year I go shopping in these commodity markets for things like this. I've done videos in other January and Februaries of other years, just like this one. If you go to my library, it's at www.livewithoscar.com. At my site, you can see a library of our videos there. We also have a YouTube presence with, I don't know, Mike, how many? 400 and what? 409 videos like this. And that's at www.youtube.com/futuresanalysts. If you go there, you'll see a lot of other videos like this, and then you can see what the end result was the last time I did a video and said, traders, a lot of markets are getting above my Omni average, and that's telling me something's going to go. You'll see the end result in these other videos, and I think it will make you feel more secure about what we're showing you in this video. So go take a look. Traders, give me a call anytime day or night, 702-629-4755. Don't forget, never trade alone. Come on down to our site and trade with an army of Omniacs. We are in the rooms, in our chat rooms every day. We trade from those rooms. I'm on live camera and microphone as often as I can be, guiding through those rooms. So I'm there to help you. I put the recommendations out the night before we trade, and I'm in those rooms the next day to make sure that those trades go smoothly. So come on down if you need the help. Traders, if you just like to learn how to even encompass looking at markets like this and discovering the things that I discover technically in charts, you come on down to my site and I'll put you in my classes and help you become a better analyst. All right, traders, I guess that's about all I'm doing in this video. Sunday night, we need to look at S&P. The S&P's got some very interesting formations, traders, that I am looking to trade right off the bat Sunday. So get in touch with me, get down to my site, and I'll let you know what we're going to do in the S&P for Sunday into Monday. Traders, I will tell you this, do not fall in love with any upside moves in the S&P. All right, traders, remember, CRB, looking smart, looking sharp, trying to get above my average right now. 70% of the commodities already are. Keep your eyes open. All right, traders, don't forget, say this to yourselves every morning, every afternoon, every evening. It'll help you keep your emotions out of trading. And you know what that is? Stops are in. Emotions are out.
Futures trading is risky and can cause substantial financial loss. We do not claim or guarantee that you will profit from the information provided. That being said, I am a 24-year seasoned trader on and off the floors. This is how I've made my living for many, many years. Good luck trading.